The 88th United States Congress was a meeting of the legislative branch of the United States federal government, composed of the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives. It met in Washington, D.C., from January 3, 1963 to January 3, 1965, during the last year of the administration of U.S. President John F. Kennedy, and the first administration of his successor, U.S. President Lyndon Johnson. The apportionment of seats in this House of Representatives was based on the 18th Census of the United States in 1960, and the number of members was again 435. Both chambers had a Democratic majority. Major events. November 22, 1963, Lyndon Johnson became President of the United States on the death of President John Kennedy. March 30, June 10, 1964, the longest filibuster in the history of the Senate was waged against the Civil Rights Act of 1964, with 57 days of debate over a 73-day period. It ended when the Senate voted 71 to 29 to invoke cloture, with the filibuster carried out by Southern members of the Democratic Party, the first successful cloture motion on a civil rights bill. August 2 to 4, 1964, Gulf of Tonkin incident. Major legislation. June 10, 1963, Equal Pay Act, Pub. L. 88 to 38. October 17, 1963, Department of Defense Appropriations Act, Pub. L. 88 to 149. October 31, 1963, Community Mental Health Centers Act, Pub. L. 88 to 164, Title II, including Mental Retardation Facilities Construction Act. December 17, 1963, Clean Air Act, Pub. L. 88 to 206. July 2, 1964, Civil Rights Act of 1964, Pub. L. 88 to 352. July 9, 1964, Urban Mass Transportation Act of 1964, Pub. L. 88 to 365. August 7, 1964, Tonkin Gulf Resolution, Pub. L. 88 to 408. August 20, 1964, Economic Opportunity Act of 1964, Pub. L. 88 to 452. August 31, 1964, Food Stamp Act of 1964, Pub. L. 88 to 525. September 3, 1964, Wilderness Act, Pub. L. 88 to 577. September 4, 1964, Nurse Training Act, Pub. L. 88 to 581. 1964, Library Services and Construction Act. Party Summary. Senate House of Representatives Leadership. Senate President of the Senate, Lyndon Johnson, until November 22, 1963, thereafter vacant. President pro tempore, Carl Hayden. Majority Leadership. Majority Leader, Mike Mansfield. Majority Whip, Hubert Humphrey. Minority Leadership. Minority Leader, Everett Dirksen. Minority Whip, Thomas Kuchel. House of Representatives Speaker, John McCormack. Majority Leadership. Majority Leader, Carl Albert. Majority Whip, Hale Boggs. Minority Leadership. Minority Leader, Charles A. Halleck. Minority Whip, Leslie C. Aarons. Members. Senate Senators are popularly elected statewide every 2 years, with 1/3 beginning new 6-year terms with each Congress. Senators are ordered first by state, and then by seniority, preceding the names in the list below as Senate class numbers, which indicate the cycle of their election. House of Representatives changes in membership. Senate House of Representatives Committees. Lists of committees and the party leaders. Senate House of Representatives Joint Appointments Employees and Legislative Agency Directors. Legislative Branch Agency Directors Architect of the Capitol J. George Stewart. Attending Physician of the United States Congress George Calver. Comptroller General of the United States Joseph Campbell. Librarian of Congress Lawrence Quincy Mumford. Public Printer of the United States James L. Harrison. Senate Chaplain Frederick Brown Harris. Methodist Parliamentarian Charles Watkins Floyd Riddick. Secretary Felton McClellan Johnston. Sergeant-at-Arms Joseph C. Duke. House of Representatives Clerk Ralph R. Roberts. Doorkeeper William Mosley Fishbait Miller. Parliamentarian Louis Deichler. Postmaster H. Morris. Sergeant-at-Arms Zeke W. Johnson, Jr. Chaplain Bernard Braskamp. Presbyterian